Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to the Lethal Truth. Thank you for tuning in to the Lethal Truth. I know you could have been anywhere, but you're here with me today. This is where I always tell the truth, and the truth shall set you free, whether it be mentally or physically. And it could be physically. If you're in a penitentiary, I can help you out with the legal law library. So pretty much physically, you could definitely be liberated mentally with the truth and physically with the truth. I'm gonna wait before I begin my show, but please hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to know what time I get on, hit that notification. So when I set up a live and I prepare myself, you can get the notification when I get on instead of just browsing and you just run into me or you just see me live. It'll always send you a notification as soon as I set it up, and an hour before I get on, it'll send you another notification. So hit that like button, hit that share button, and go pick up the phone and tell a friend that I'm on. I got a good one for you today. We got a good one for you today. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. It's just so crazy with Cassie and Diddy. It's just, oh man. But we're going to wait. We're going to give it like 2 minutes before we begin, all right? 2 minutes. Hope everybody's day was good. Hope everybody's day was good. My day, I had a good day. Matter of fact, I had an excellent day. You know why? Because I'm up and I'm breathing, with my family, get to pick up the phone, speak to a few friends. So I'm blessed. I'm here, What you doing? What you doing? Playing with my Shih Tzu over here. You okay? Okay. We're gonna give it another minute. Man, oh man, the things that I'm seeing and the things that I'm reading with this case, man. I know I'm waiting. I want to begin so bad. No, because I'm floored. I'm really floored. This is one of the biggest case ever in history. As a matter of fact, it's the second biggest case in history. The first case was OJ. This is the second biggest case in history because it's in the media every single day and pertaining to a heavyweight, Sean Diddy Combs. I mean, Young Thug case was a high profile case, but his weight, his name don't hold that much like Diddy's. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give it a few seconds and then we're gonna begin. I'll be right back. All right, we're gonna begin. Right? I feel like I was downtown Manhattan at the courthouse with all the stuff I get. I feel like a news reporter. No, for real, because you want to be a content creator. This thing takes work. It takes time. It's really not easy. People think it's easy, like you could just set up a camera and you just start talking. Nah, this is not easy. You got to be consistent with this. You got to get a lot of information. You got to do a lot of research, and then you got to prepare yourself to know what you're talking about. Then you got to be consistent by having more stories or more information every other day or every week and keep your content going. So this is not easy. Trust me, I'm telling you. I be in here like this. Man, I'm gonna talk about today, So let's get right into it. The Cassie and Diddy. Oh man, this case, man, I put the Cassie and Diddy and Cassie exposed. Why? Because there's a lot of exposure that's going on with Diddy, of course. But Cassie, man, it's so much exposure. I don't even know what to start when it comes to her testimony. It's just, it's just, oh man, it's just all over the place. It's a big shocking news that's going on. So let's start. First, we're gonna start with the elevator scene because we hear about that scene so much. And like I said yesterday, that the video is like 5 minutes long. I didn't put it up. I could have put it up. I'm not gonna put it up because it's gonna take some time. But it's really basically showing that the security comes in. Of course, first we see Cassie is being assaulted by Diddy when they come out the room, and she's at the elevator, and he kicks her and he pulls her back into the room, and then that's it. But it's longer than that. At first, Diddy and Cassie is having a conversation. He gets her phone. I guess he saw some emails or texts of her being with somebody on the phone, and he gets mad, and he runs out the room after they talking, and they show that he breaks a vase. He start kicking her, punching her, then he grabs her and he pulls her back in. Now the camera cuts off, but in reality, what happens is after the altercation, security comes up there, who is now a LAPD. He comes up there. He doesn't know it's Puffy at the time. Hey, Monica, what's up? He's making sure everything is copacetic. He doesn't know it's Puffy yet. Once he realizes Puffy, of course, he takes out his phone. He starts recording the scene on the low. He is now an LAPD officer. Okay. Cassie wanted to leave. Diddy said she's not leaving. At that point, he says on the stand, listen, I had to step up and take my position and told Puffy if she wants to leave, then I'm gonna have to let her leave. You can't stop me. Puffy says, all right. There was another guy that was in a room. They said he was like the security said he was like 7 foot. He was a tall, muscular dude. Kind of find out that was one of the guys that was going to be participating in a freak off. A lot of people saying that that was a sign that she didn't want to do, and that's why she ran. But no, Puffy saw something on her phone, and it just went left, right? I'm not gonna say, the security took money. He did say Puffy offered him a wad of cash, make sure things is quiet. He said he didn't take the cash. The hotel said they will clean up for everything. Puffy paid the hotel for the damages, and they kept it quiet. Later on that day, because Cassie didn't leave immediately. She stayed in the room, and the security left. Later on that day, Cassie did leave eventually, Cassie did leave. Puffy lets her leave, right? She's in an Uber, and she's going to, I'm assuming, her friend's house or to her apartment at the time, because at this time she had an apartment in New York and an apartment in LA. While she's in the process of leaving and she's in the cab, she does a selfie with shades on. There's no busted lip or anything or any fashion like that. Later on that day, or while in the cab, Puffy is calling her. He's blowing up her phone. She's not answering. Eventually, when she gets to where she's going, she answers the phone. They have a conversation. She leaves. She goes to D-Rock's house with his wife, which is part of his security. And then eventually she goes link up with Puffy later that night. And they go to a movie premiere where she's on the red carpet and she has a lot of revealing clothes on, where you can see her arms. There's no bruises. You can see her legs. There's no bruises. Some people will say, oh, makeup could cover up that. Cool. But she didn't have any shades on. There's no busted eye. There's no big eye. There's nothing on her face that says she was abused. But on the stand, the security said she had a purple eye. She had a black eye. Cassie said she had a black eye too. But yet, when she's on the premiere of this red carpet, she doesn't have anything. Now, I'm not saying that it excused him for his actions. I'm just saying what was described, which is contrary to what she's saying, because everybody said she was beat up, she was bruised, she had a busted lip, she had this or no and that. But yet, after being beaten up, later on, she goes to his security team and then links up with him later on and then go to a red carpet movie premiere. Now, 3 days later, Puff texts Cassie. So this is about what? Let's say Monday, because the situation that happened was on a Friday at the Intercontinental Hotel, the video that we always see 1,001 times, right? Okay. 3 days later, Puff texts her. He said, yo, I'm horny. I'm real horny, right? And Cassie, this is in the transcripts, this is in court today. Cassie says, not a good vibe. I don't want it to be like Friday. Puff, F Friday. We need a new vibe. Cassie, LOL. So while we was all going crazy about this tape, meanwhile, she was over there, well, that was a couple of years ago. She's over there saying LOL. And you know how it is when you're in a relationship, a toxic relationship at that, and you know, the man is putting his hands on a woman, and the female, she's not soft, or sometimes she has a breaking point, and she would hit back. And Cassie had testified that there had been times where Puffy got assaulted by her. She admitted that. So this was a toxic relationship, right? A month later, Puff goes to rehab. He goes to rehab because Puff has an addiction. He has a drug problem. We all heard it on a stand or through this testimony. You know, they was taking ecstasy, they was taking mollies, they was taking GHB, which I still don't even know what that is. They were taking mushrooms, they were taking Astroglide. I don't even know what that is. They were taking drugs that I can't even spell. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they was doing every day. So at one point in time, Puff felt like he had to go to rehab because everybody in Bad Boy knew that Puff had a drug problem. Everybody knew that. This was on his stand. This was Cassie's testimony. This was the various other people's testimony that knew that Puffy had an alcohol problem and he had a drug problem. So he decided to put himself in a rehab a month later after the incident. Now, on Cassie's 30th birthday, right? Puffy feels that Cassie's cheating on him because see, they are not just in a toxic relationship, but they in a jealous relationship. Like he's really jealous of her being with any other man, to the point he even had to question Chris Brown because she was dancing with Chris Brown. He stepped to her, and I'm assuming he contacted Chris like, yo, what's going on here, right? So, and she feels the same way. She's jealous. She don't want him with no other female, and she said it on the stand that one of the reasons why I did the freak offs is because I don't want him doing it with no other female, just me. That's it. So she was doing it so he don't find nobody else and cut her to the curb. Because, you know, this is her plane ticket right here. She's dealing with a billionaire, multi-millionaire that could take her places. She's not trying to give up that space, you know? So, make a long story short, her 30th birthday, he calls her, he says, yo, I hear you up there creeping. And she's like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. So he said, yo, let's link up, right? So they link up. So as soon as Puffy see her, Puffy say, yo, call your moms and tell your moms that we're going out. You know what I mean? So he waited for her to, you know, do her password, put her password in. Once the phone opened up, he grabbed her phone and he ran. Matter of fact, they was in a car. They was going somewhere. He took her phone and he jumped out and he ran. So the prosecution asked, you know, do Puffy always take things from you? She said, every time he get mad, he takes my phone, he takes my keys, he takes my clothes. You know how it be when you with your lady and she talking about, I'm out of here. You be like, well, you ain't going nowhere because you're so much in love with her. And she like, I don't care. And what happens is he takes all her clothes so she can't leave. Or your man is trying to leave. He ain't got no time to argue with you. You take his car keys. This is the type of relationship they have. You understand? So he takes her phone, he runs, he goes wherever he's going. She finds out later on, while he's running with the phone, he disappears. Somehow she contacts somebody else. She gets another phone. She's trying to call her phone for Diddy to answer. He ain't trying to answer. He's going through her phone. He finds texts and calls from an NFL player. They didn't say the name, but it was an NFL player that she was creeping with behind Diddy's back. So Diddy calling, yo, what's up? He calling, asking questions, whatever the case. She's calling everybody in the world to contact Diddy to give her back a phone. She calls her mother. Eventually, her mother calls the police and said Puffy stole her daughter's phone. So that was a police report, right? All right. So now, like I said, they're both jealous, you know. They don't want this guy to be with her. He don't want this guy to be with her, and she don't want this female to be with him because she know Diddy got a lot of females that's flocking him. He's a big man. He's a big man in the industry. He pull up, females is throwing panties. So she trying to protect her position. So now, one day, she get a text or I believe a call from a guy named Sujan. They don't say who he is. It just says a guy named Sujan. And he talks to her on the phone saying, yo, I got videos of you. I got some sex videos. She's like, what? You talking about sex videos of me? Now she's nervous. She's kind of panicking, you know, like, because she knows what she's been doing. So she probably figuring, like, I know Diddy's not leaking nothing on me. And I'm pretty sure, you know, he's not doing that because it was an incident where when they was having a freak off, one of their bulls in a swinging life, that's what they call a man that comes to satisfy the woman in front of the husband or boyfriend or disjoint. It calls the third party, the bull, they caught him doing a sex video on the low. Cassie finds out about it. Diddy finds out about it. They step the homeboy. Diddy offers her some money. It gets deleted because they can't have that going out. So she's already on point like, yo, wait, what are you talking about? What video? He's like, man, I got a sex video. So she like, send me the video. I want to see what you're talking about. Because she knows all her freak offs. So she know if she see a familiar face, she gonna know, okay, either did he set this up and put a camera somewhere or this dude did. So she want to see. But he's playing games on the phone like he's not trying to send it to her. So she takes a flight and she flies out to Atlantic City, New Jersey, and she sees the dude and she approached him again about this this video. So he pulls out the phone. He's acting like he got the video, you know, but you know how people playing on the phone, like they looking for something in their gallery, but it ain't nothing coming up, but she knows he's playing games now. So she told him, and this was in transcript, this was what she said in court. On a stand, because the screen, everything is being shown, her texts. So she actually told the dude, right, that she confessed. Actually, this wasn't on the text. She actually said that this came out, right? That she told the guy, listen, I will kill you. I will F you up. I will cut your whole body up. And I won't even get no blood in my hands. I'll have someone else do it. This don't sound like a female that's defenseless. She got pulled like that where she could cut somebody's body up, dismember it, and make it disappear without even touching blood, without even getting her hands dirty. What kind of pull she got? This don't sound like a woman who's a sex worker or who's being sex trafficking. She sounds like she got a squad. You know what I'm saying? But this is what she said. Eventually, she found out the guy was lying. Make a long story short, that situation is over. See, they painting Cassie to show you that she's in a domestic violence relationship and she's not a punk. She's very intelligent and she knows what she's doing. This is what the defense is trying to show in trying to show in court. The prosecution team is trying to take a domestic violence case and trying to transfer it into sex trafficking to make it seem like that she had no choice but to do all these free calls because she didn't want to make Diddy mad. Not saying she don't want Diddy to put a gun to her head again, if that ever happened, but she don't want to make him mad. So this is what we are. This is what we're dealing with here, right? So now in 2018, it gets crazy between them. You know, they break up, they make up, they break up, they make up. They in a toxic relationship. They fight each other. He's putting hands on, because the video situation, that wasn't the only time he actually put hands on her. You know, there's other witnesses that saying that he put hands on her. She even said that, you know, he put hands on me, but I put hands on him. Sometimes we fight. That's what people in toxic relationships do, right? So in 2018, they decide that they want to end the relationship, right? Because they're tired. You know, I've been in relationships like that too, where, you know, you feel like sometimes you tried everything. You mean, you know, you love the person. You don't want, you know, even though it's toxic, but you love the person. You don't want to break up. You don't want to move on and start all over and get to know somebody else and all that, because you're still not going to get over the person that you're with. And you always trying to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? But it gets so exhausted. It's like, yo, man, I'm tired of getting back together, because it's like nothing going to change. And I believe at this time, this is how they felt, because this is the way Cassie's expressing it on the stand. Diddy's sitting down. He's just watching and listening. And Cassie's like, you know, 2018, we linked up for closure. It was a closure relationship, right? This was 2018. So Puffy was like, well, you know, why don't we just find a relationship counselor? And she's like, you know what? Nah, that's not going to work, because I want to be first. You told me I was going to be first. You told me I was going to be more than Gina. Now, Gina is actually Kim. You know what I mean? They call her Gina because you know how Gina from morning, she's the down-ass wife. So she was like, you know, you said I was going to be number one, but you got Gina over here. She popping babies out and you still ain't give me one. You know what I mean? So she like, yo, this is it. I'm not trying to do anything. So August of 2018, they decided to go to eat and have their closer situation, right? So they eat, they talk, whatever, have a good time eating. Puff takes her home. Puff enters the house and they have sex. Excuse me. According to her, this is when Puffy raped her. Remember all these stories y'all heard? Oh, about Puffy raping her? Okay, we get into it. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button and hit that share button. Do me that favor. Hit that share button. Tell a friend, yo, I got some juicy stuff on right now. You know what I'm saying? And yo, you got to tune in to Lethal Truth. So Puffy goes into the house. According to Cassie, he rapes her. Take that, take that, take that. Right? He rapes her. This is what she's saying on the stand. Right? Okay. After that, Puffy leaves. This is all right going to be on screen with her texts. The very next day after the rape, Cassie wakes up in the morning and she sends a heart emoji to Puffy. This is the next day after being raped. Do you know any rape victims that does that to the person that raped them? I mean, I know we all been in relationships where we take the booty, or ladies, you take what you want. You know how that go. Make up the breakup sex. But she said Puffy raped her though. I don't know if that's what happened, but he entered that house, so I know they had sex. She sent him an emoji heart the next morning. So I don't know how a rape turned into an emoji heart, but this is on the stand. Okay. Now, Puffy team says in November of 2023, 2 years after she got, I would say, after the 20 million. Let's say after the 20 million, right? She meets up with the prosecution team. And the prosecution team asks her, When did Puffy rape you? She said September of 2018. So now Puffy teams cross-examine her. You said that you was raped in August of 2020, not September 2020. Are you sure about your dates? Now she got the dates mixed up. First she sent the heart emojis the next day. Now she got the dates mixed up. Or when she got raped. Did she get raped? I don't know. Put in the chat what you think. Do rape victims forget the months that they were raped? I mean, maybe some will probably forget on the exact date if they let it, don't report and it go on some time. But the month? You really forget the month? Okay, we're going to move on. But this is what Cassie's saying. Now, the prosecutor again, she teamed up with the prosecutor again, right? About a month ago during that time. And they had to ask some questions because you see Cassie and Puff, they had different phones too. And certain things that they would do instead of putting their government, especially going to hotels, they would actually put Frank Black. And she would put Cece, right? I want you to remember that name, Frank Black, okay? Frank, remember that name. All right. So now, the prosecution team, they hear this, right? And they ask, okay, do you hate him? This is the man that everyone is saying that has Cassie as a sex worker or he was sex trafficking her, right? This is the claim. This is the claim we were all looking at and saying he's a piece of scum dog, right? Said Puff team asks her, do you hate him? Cassie, no. Do you love him? Cassie pauses. Meanwhile, her husband is in the courthouse. She pauses. She says, I love the past. Stop right there. Wait a minute. Hold up. Time out. I had to clean my glass for this one. Hold on now. We hear about the devastating things that Diddy allegedly did to Cassie, right? For the past 11 years or 15-year relationship. Now I find out that they've been together for 15 years. Everything that majority of people in society is criticizing Puffy for with Cassie just told you on her transcript she loved the past. This is the same woman that was calling the escorts. This is the same woman that was decorating the hotel rooms with candle wax and everything for the freak off. As a matter of fact, on May 7th of 2012, Puffy texted her. This is on the screen. Puffy texted her. They cross-examined her. And Puffy says, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do the freak offs no more. Cassie responds, what? Hell no. I love the freak off. I want to do this for life. Man. This is on Texas. This is on the screen for her to read. Does this sound like sex trafficking to you? I'm just asking. Put it in the chat, so let me know. Right? Okay. Now they have another breakup conversation. Make up the breakup, because throughout the time of their relationship, although they in an open relationship because they're swingers, they're cheating on each other. See, one of the things about a swinger in a swing life is that people will come to the parties with their partner or with their wife, their girlfriend, right? And they will leave. You have to understand, these people that's in this lifestyle, their sex drive is high. They're not like you regular people out here. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe, matter of fact, maybe some of them are like some of you out there. Only difference is they don't have to cheat. you will cheat and lie and still have an open relationship in your mind. You know what I'm saying? But these people will have an open relationship, but sometimes their sex drive is so hard, so high, when they leave the parties and be in their personal life, they still creeping and seeing other people. And this is what Cassie and Diddy was doing. She was still creeping with other people. He was still, we already know how Diddy's giving it up. He was creeping. You know what I'm saying? And she knew that. So, you know, it was a toxic relationship. So they had another time, or excuse me, they had another breakup where they planned, right? So it was a closure time, right? So Cassie texts, I'm heartbroken. Diddy, me too. Now, why are they breaking up? Because Cassie now, she's moving on. This is around 2018, right? This is around the same time she's cheating on Puffy with the trainer, the fitness trainer that he introduced her to, because he was Puffy's fitness trainer. So you know, when the husband or the boss is at work and the wife is home, and you got this muscular fitness trainer at home, and she's lonely and she's hurt and she's in pain, and he's there consoling her, talking to her. You know, he's doing his Dr. Phil thing. You know what I mean? And he got an attractive Asian-looking female on him. I mean, well, you could say in his arms, because he's, you know how they do that. I'm going to squat one more time. You know what I'm saying? So she leans on him. So they start having an affair while she was with Puff. Even came a time where she said on the stand that while she was with him now, right? She was with Homeboy and claiming not to be with Puff. One day she was at Puff house and he FaceTimed her, Alex Fine, who is now her husband. She seen it, Puffy seen it, and she ignored the call. One time she said she had sex with Puffy while on FaceTime with Alex Fine. And at that point, Alex Fine knew about that. I think that was part of the creeping mode thing. So he was all excited about that. You see all this freaky stuff going on right here? Right? So as they break up now, they finally call it quits, right? Finally, right? That's what they said. Finally. Cassie calls Diddy. Yeah, he picks up. What's up? Oh, so now you sleeping with your yoga instructor? I feel like, what? She like, oh, you're in a relationship now, you moved on like that. Mind you, they already broke up. She's calling him, asking him about where his penis is going. Diddy's like, yo, listen, I ain't doing nothing with no yoga instructor. You know what I mean? I ain't going out, I ain't dating, I ain't going to no movies, I ain't going to eat, none of that. She's like, okay. Now, at this time, she moves. Okay, she moves. She's not in the same location no more. She's not in New York with her apartment. She's not in LA. Well, no, she's in LA. She still has an apartment there. But he doesn't know exactly where she moved to. So Buffy like, y'all want to see you, but I don't know where you moved at. She don't want to give him the address. She don't want to give him the address. She like, nah, but they still talking on the phone, right? Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, please, please, please. It's 19,000 of y'all on here, and I only got 4 likes. What's going on? Hit that like button. Till now, like I said, he don't know where she lives. You know, eventually he does get the address, right? So September 27, 2018, they have sex a month later after this alleged rape. So here it is now. You breaking up, you go out to eat for closure. I didn't even know you had to go to eat for closure, right? You go out to eat for closure, and then instead of going separate ways, you allow him to come back to your place, right? You claim he raped you, but the next morning you sending him heart emojis. And then on top of that, a month later, you have voluntary sex with the man that raped you. Do you believe this? Do you actually believe that Cassie was raped? Put it in the comments. You actually believe she was raped? Me personally, I don't think so. I don't think she was raped at all. I think she just said that to get a rouse out of him, to make him mad, but I don't think so. Right? Now, like I said, when I said that her husband called her, who was her husband now, called her, that month later when she went with Puff and they linked up and had sex a month after the rape, this is when Alan called the FaceTime and she saw the phone because now they're in a relationship. So she see the number, Puff see it, whatever, baby. And they went back doing what they was doing. Monica said she messed up the whole damn case. Yeah, she messed up the whole case. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think he raped her. Yeah, she messed up the whole case. Actually, she didn't really, I mean, she messed up the whole case, but you know who helped her mess up the whole case even more? The prosecutors. Because if Puffy was charged with assault, if he was charged with domestic violence, he was done. He was done. The trial wouldn't even go 6 weeks, 2 weeks. That first, you're done. He would have got time. But you're going for sex trafficking. So you have to argue how this woman was being sex trafficked. Not no domestic violence case. Not a relationship. This is between love. I only seen love and hate. This is a dysfunctional love. Because when they break up, Cassie's calling all over the place looking for him. Cassie even said that. Cassie said, I call over the place looking for him. When he don't want to talk to me, I call over the place. She said, and you know, he got a lot of friends. She said, I call Nicki Minaj. I call Laura London. She called everybody, and they like, listen, we don't know what Puff is. Does that sound like a person that's being sex trafficked? That's a domestic relationship there. That's crazy. Boss lady, what's up? Yeah, I don't believe that either. Yeah, I don't believe that. I really don't. But now look, now the prosecution, I mean the defense team, right? They asked Cassie, your husband found out at some point? Because you have to remember, Cassie got married August 28th of 2019. They were sleeping together September 27, 2018 in the bed, her and Puff, when her boyfriend at that time called. Better yet, you might as well say fiance, because now they're in a real serious relationship. So what did she tell her fiance where she was going? Did she lie to him? Did she deceive him? Did she con him? See, we're building a character here. Because you left a domestic violent relationship but with your trainer you cheated on with your man with, and now that you with your man, you cheat on the man with the man you claim raped you. Does this all make sense to you? Please let me know. I'm trying to understand this myself. She's messing up this case. I don't know if she's messing up intentionally or what, but you could tell throughout the testimony as well, she still loved Puff. Because when they asked her, do you still love him? She paused. This is a woman that's sitting there 8 months pregnant with another man's, not another man's baby. Well, you might say that with her husband's baby, right? And he's there, he's listening to all this. So you can imagine what's going through his head, because there's certain things that she told him that the prosecutors, I'm sure, told her, you better tell him some things, because he's going to hear some things. But she don't know what the defense is going to say. So some things she's going to hide. She probably don't want to hurt the man, you know what I'm saying? But it's coming out. Okay. So, say your husband found out at some point? Cassie, yes. So now he found out his fiance, because he got married that next year. He found out that his fiance was cheating on him with her ex, right? He still dealt with it. After that, they were still texting, still calling each other, right? October 5th of 2018, Cassie, she texts him, I'm lost without you. Puff, I'm going to fuck. This is what Puff said, right? But the thing is, you have a fiance and you claim you're going to leave a relationship that's so toxic, so, that you claim is so crazy, right? And you want to get away from this man. But yet, you telling your rapist, I have to say that because I want you to really understand where it's going. You tell your rapist that you are lost without him. Imagine how her fiance felt. Excuse me. Imagine how her husband felt, because this is her husband now. Imagine how he felt hearing this on the stand. So all this time you telling me you love me and you got her out of your situation and I'm there for you and we're praying together and we're doing this, you've been lying to me. This individual makes you whole. So what am I? See the deception? This is what I'm painting. You're lying. You're playing both sides of the fence. How could we believe anything she really has to say? Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending her. I seen the tape because that's all we got that we actually seen. But she admitted that she was violent too. So I don't condone the video. I don't condone things that she went through. But you're confusing me. It seems like you being sneaky about some stuff. Why just lie? Why just be honest about stuff? You know what I mean? Now, November of 2018, they're still broken up. They're still broken up. They're not together. Kim Porter passes away, right? So, of course, we all heard it. We saw it in the news, the media. We're like, oh, wow, what happened, right? Diddy plans, her funeral and everything. Cassie hears about it. She flies to the memorial. What? And when I heard, I'm like, wait, you're not even together. You're in a whole nother relationship. She flies. Kim is not your friend. Kim don't even like her because Kim felt that she took her place, because I'm assuming Kim wouldn't do the things in a lifestyle that she would do. This is why Diddy replaced her, because I believe, in my opinion, that Cassie was his bottom freak. In the lifestyle that I'm in, we have those individuals, male and female, who are in relationships, but their husband or their wife or their boyfriend or their girlfriend is not comfortable with the lifestyle. So they will bring somebody else. At my last party, a guy said, yo, man, damn, man, I should have bought the last shorty. I said, what happened? He said, nah, man, because this one right here, she a little hesitant. He's like, my last shorty, she gets it in. This is how people in the lifestyle think. Women do the same thing. She's like, no, not that other dude. He too freezing up. This dude, he's loose. I like him. They pick and choose who they want. This is why I'm assuming why all these other females got babies by Puffy and she don't. Because you don't fit that criteria. That's not what he wants you for. Besides, who knows? He probably was spreading her and sharing her with other artists in the industry. So he definitely don't want a baby with her. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to do that. This is what I'm assuming, because it's only day 4. We got a lot more weeks in this trial. So she's there. Of course, Puffy is giving his speech, telling everybody, how he feel about Kim. Because, this mother's children, he love her. Cassie leaves. Diddy texts. Yo, where you at? Still got her number. He's not blocked. She's in a full relationship. A man all the way in another state somewhere. He don't even know where she at. I'm sure she didn't tell him I'm going over there to the memorial, because he know Diddy's there. So she not gonna tell him that. So she texts back, I'm leaving. She's like, because I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Because I have to stand there and listen to you talk about how Gina is your soulmate and not me. I'm listening to this while she's reading all of this on the stand, because the text is on the screen. And I'm saying to myself, at this particular moment, a woman that he once loved or probably still love is dead. Left him with his twins. His mother's there, other family is there. They all crying, they in pain. No matter how he felt about Kim when they was together or how he treated her, he still loved her. He's there. He's pouring his heart out. And she finds the time to make it all about her. I thought I was your soulmate. This man's grieving. You beefing about you being a soulmate. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not even together. Hit that like button. They're not even together. She's in a whole nother relationship. And she's mad about him calling some other woman a soulmate, the mother of his children. Still thinking about you, huh, Cassie? Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Right? So now the prosecution team, they try to slip some stuff in on the low, right? They did. So while they was cross-examined and they was about to end, right? The prosecution team says, what did you do to, how did you feel as far as your occupation in the industry? She said, well, I had a career. So this is what she said. I had a career. I was signed. I had albums. She had an album. She made some songs. She had a modeling career. Everything was promised to her. But every time she got somewhere, Diddy would blackball it and shut it down so she couldn't move and her career wasn't going anywhere, right? So at this point, she said, I felt like a sex worker. So the judge, he said, strike that from the record. And he told the jury, disregard you here. See, lawyers and defense team, they play this type of tactic games in court when they know they can't slip something in. They'll just throw it out there because once the jury hear it, they hear it. You can strike whatever you want off the record. Even if you blow trial and you get an appeal and they go over your appeal, it's on record. And the judge is saying, strike it from the record. And they already read it. They already heard it. You can't remove it now. So now, it was Puffy team now. They were like, oh, because that was a little, I ain't gonna lie, that was a little hit right there for Puff. Because it's true. She had no other career moving like that until she got with Puff. She had her song out and all that. But this is what the defense team said. Check this out. So, did a song with Lil Wayne, right? She said, yeah. Did a song French Montana? Yeah. How about Rick Ross? Yeah, I did a song with Rick Ross too. What they're trying to paint is for a person that's on your level, that ain't even haven't sold anything really yet. You're doing songs with major figures in the industry. You have to sell albums. You have to have a big name to actually feature with Lil Wayne. You're not going to just get no feature. And she got one with Nicki Minaj. Did Puff, who made that happen? Because they asked her, said, being with Puff, and you're going to all these award shows and Met Galas, are you able to rub shoulders with these type of celebrities? Because your man is a big name in the entertainment. He got a lot of pull and a lot of power. So a lot of people could definitely flock around Puff. And she said, yeah, that's how you got on those albums. Now let's keep it real and let's be honest. Name a verse from Cassie. Matter of fact, name three words in the song. I'll wait. Yeah, I know. You're like, damn, what was the name of that song again? Nobody knows. Nobody know her song. Some people don't even know the title of the song. I bet you don't even know the title of her album. Because, it's like this. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You don't have that gift. You want to be a ball player, that's cool. But if you can't play ball in a ballpark like that, you're not going to make it. You just ain't got it. You may love ball. You may play a little, be nice. Even football, you may be a little nice, but you just ain't got it. Didn't, what was that sister name? Tiana Taylor? Wasn't her husband and what's that, NBA? He ain't in the NBA no more. You know why? Because he just ain't got it. You had it in high school. You was good in college. But once you get to the NBA, that's a whole different game. You just ain't got it, buddy. Gotta go. You could probably beat the average dudes in the park. Cool. Cassie can do little songs at baby showers and all that. But when it comes to albums and all that in the industry, you just ain't got it, sweetie. So that had to, like, you know, they had to attack that wording right there, sex worker. Because so far we haven't heard anything that really describes Cassie as a sex worker. That is not your occupation. Puffy don't call you and say you got to go to work at this time and do free calls. Puffy said, I'm ready to do a free call, and you said you down with it. You said you down with it. A lot of times in Texas, she says she's down with it. And I know you hear the prosecution team is saying, you know, a lot of people are saying, yeah, Diddy team is pulling up old Texas, because I read the comments on social media, and these people be having a big discussion saying Diddy's going down. The prosecution team hit them, and I'm like, what are they listening to? Because I know what I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying? All they talking about is the abuse. They have not yet said that Cassie was sent to go have sex with people while Diddy was home. They joined in the front and they had their threesomes. Okay? We didn't hear him putting a gun to her head. We didn't hear him orchestrating anything, or we didn't even hear him blackmailing her to have sex with other people. We hear, I'll pull out the video and I'll expose you. And she was like, when they have their arguments, that's the time you hear that. But have you seen any videos leaked? She just hit him for 20 minutes. Do you see any videos leaked? No, not at all. So now, like I said, after the breakup, the official breakup, because now Diddy really is exhausted. You know what I'm saying? And she's exhausted. Like, it's getting tiring. After a while, things do get tiring, and you just want to move on now. Plus, he's hollering at Young Miami, so he's really trying to move on. You know what I'm saying? So Cassie has a new man. She moved on with him, and Puff moves on with her. I mean, Puff, moves on with Young Miami. So now, I'm sure when she was with Puff, she was living real good. Because let's keep it real, she didn't come from a mansion. She came from a nice apartment. That's a hell of a jump from an apartment to a mansion. That's a hell of a jump from cooking your own food to having cooks come and cook you some food while you at the pool. This is whole different. Your lifestyle changes. You understand? People say money don't change you. That's a damn lie. If your money don't change you, that means you ain't made enough yet. Because when you make enough money, you're going to talk different, you're going to walk different, you're going to dress different, you're going to eat different, and you definitely, transportation going to be different. So money changes you. Well, now I understand you're talking about character. Sometimes money doesn't, sometimes money changes people's characters too, right? So I'm sure he was taking care of her, because she also admitted that Puffy was paying her bills. This is why she was able to have a condo in New York and a condo in LA. But since they stopped dealing with each other, the New York condo closed down. LA, that condo shut down. Why? Because she's not making no money. She's going broke. She ain't with Diddy no more. He's not there with the parachute. He's falling back. They were such on hard times, Cassie and her man, that they had to move in with her parents. Not saying something is wrong with that, but goddamn, you went from a mansion to your parents' home? That's a hell of a shocking, man. That's culture shock. Let's keep it real. That's culture shock. Because I know I would be depressed. If I'm around millionaires and billionaires and I'm shaking hands with Lil Wayne and I'm laughing, I'm passing blunts with French Montana or whatever, and then next thing you know, I gotta go to Dollar Tree to buy a broom. Are you crazy? I'm gonna be bitter and mad. And I don't think she was bitter. I mean, well, I think she was bitter in some ways, you know, because somebody else took her place. And I think she was mad at her situation because we all get mad when we can't pay a bill. We start cursing people out. I had to spend this, I had to spend that, and she probably hit Puff up. Yo, I need some help. I'm bad on hard times. And Puff was like, yo, we've been moved on from this. I'm not a charity. Go ask your man. Go ask your husband. Ain't you married? Speaking of that, he even was still texting her when they was married. Yeah, I've been saying congratulations and that. They were still texting. Now they wasn't having sex. She didn't say that, but she said they were still communicating after they got married. Even down to 2020. That I think that was around the last time they had. Well, I won't say the last time they actually had a positive conversation, but around that time they were still talking. So I'm assuming her and her husband sat up one night and they had a discussion. Yo, listen, it's only one way you can get this money. Write a tell-all book, blow it up. Because see, Superhead did that. She opened the door. And then I remember when she opened the door for that book, a lot of other groupies started doing interviews and magazines. They started jumping on the bandwagon to get a check. You know what I'm saying? Because Superhead blew the lid off the industry. That book sold so fast, it was crazy because we never heard nothing like that. So imagine the book she was putting together with Puff. Let me tell you how it goes. It's extortion. It's extortion. Instead of Cassie saying, I'm putting the book out anyway, because that's what Superhead did. She didn't care about blackmailing no one. She didn't care about your marriage. So a lot of people say, yo, you blowing up people's marriage. Her thing was, and I agree, if you ain't respecting your marriage, why should I? And she put the book out. And she made her own money for letting people know what she was doing on her back. So she sold her body for the right price in a book. And she made money. She tried to do it a second time. And then we didn't want to hear it no more. We was like, all right, whatever. You want to talk about Ray J and all that. We got it already. But she didn't do that. Cassie wrote the book out. And before she went to even think about publishing it, she sent it to Puff. In her mind, she's saying, I'm going to scare this mother effer up. I'm going to put all the secrets out. She was with him for 11 to 15 years. Doing major freak-offs. And this is just day 4. We don't know who else she did it with, but this is the end of her day on the stand. She's not testifying no more. That's it for her, right? Puff must have said, oh, no, can't put this book out. Can't put this book out. But then he must have thought about it and said, you know what, you ain't going to store me. He said, F you, put it out. I don't care. Which means it must not have been no too many celebrity names in there for him to say that. I don't care, put it out. I ain't giving you nothing. I'm trying to extort me. I'm Harlem. You know how Puff talk. So she said, oh yeah? Okay. I'm going to put the civil suit in. So now her tactic was, once the civil suit came, instead of putting all the business out there, Puff seen it and was like, oh no. Because as soon as we heard it, it went shockwaves everywhere. Every radio station was talking about it. Puff thought about it and said, you know what? I'm going to give her the money. Because I got deals with Revlon. I got deals with BET. I got this liquor thing going on. He's making $60 million a year off the liquor alone. We ain't even talking about all his investments. Now if he didn't pay her that, you know how much legal fees he be paying? You know how many contracts will be canceled behind that civil case? So he said, before I get out of proportion and blow up, give her the money. So he gave her $20 million. $20 million. She got the $20 million. She got her home in the order. I don't know. Of course, they ain't getting no condo and apartment. I'm pretty sure they got a big, nice house because this is her 3rd baby. So during the end of the cross-examination, the defense team asked her, Is Puffy the only one that you sued? She said yes. At that moment, when he asked to sue, the prosecution team said, objection, Your Honor. They wanted to go further. They know what was about to come. Judge said, overruled. Said, is there anybody else? Said, nobody else. He said, you didn't receive $10 million in settlement? Everybody's looking in the courtroom. And what the hell did it come from? She said, yes, I received $10 million in settlement and I didn't get it yet. Who did you sue? The hotel, the Intercontinental Hotel. She said, so they said, so you sued them? She said, well, not sue. So what did you do? She said, well, I demanded a settlement. You demanded? How the hell you can demand something? You got to go through procedures of a 1983 and all that. See, what she probably did was, since the video came out and everything was circulating with this case, she saw another money grab. And she demanded the hotel to pay her, or she was going to put in a lawsuit and say, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. Remember, that happened, and that happened, and you got paid, and you sweat that on the rug, and this happened. And they said, okay, we're going to give you the $10 million. So the prosecution, the defense team said, but so you got the $10 million. She said, well, not yet. I said, wait a minute, what the hell's going on? She said, why not? She said, because I set it out last week. The whole courtroom said, what? Now, I wasn't there, but I'm hearing it through my searching that several other press journalists or other people from the press, they was in the courtroom where it sent the whole shout. Even the judge was shocked. Like, what? How you get? She hid it from everybody. See, my wife always said this. Money is the root of all evil. When nobody does evil for free. You had to get paid for it. That's why you do it. She saw the opportunity. You already got 20 million. What happened? That wasn't enough? No, it wasn't enough because she wanted to live the way she wanted to live before she met the white guy, Alex Fine, who was outside grilling all the people, who was talking about Puff with his shades on, trying to be intimidating. This skinny white dude, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You're in New York, bro. You get washed up. And why would you act like that? You're not going to do anything. You're in front of a courthouse with 1,000 police and people with cameras, and you and I ice drill everybody. Don't get mad at the people. Get mad at your wife. Because she was cheating on you left or right. And I understand why he stayed. Cassie, what? He got to come up and he eating off of her because whatever Diddy's giving her, she's feeding him. Until times got hard. Because at this time, they was on like baby number 2. So of course he wasn't leaving. And he definitely ain't leaving. She got 20 million. Where he going? You think he going somewhere? He don't care about no golden showers in her mouth. She got 20 million and then another 10, which is 30 million. Where he go? You would have went somewhere? I know I wouldn't have went nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I would have stayed 30 million. Listen, man, I ain't had 30 million last week, but hey, I had one with 30 million this week. So, she stayed. And like I said, this blew out the water. Now, here's another thing. She has 2 kids, right? She has 2. And she always wanted a child from Diddy. One son name is Sonny. The other son name is Frank. What's Diddy, AKA? Frank Black. Listen, man, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. Why would you name the child Frank? Because see, Diddy always have that name on everything he do. Like I said, whatever hotel rooms he go to, he used Frank Black. Even when they raided his house in Miami, no, in a hotel room where they came to arrest him, right? They found baby oil, Astroglide drugs. They found ecstasy, and they found other pink pills in a bottle. And the bottle name of the medication says Frank Black. And you named your son Frank. That's a hell of a damn thing, man. Now, you trying to say it's coincidence? Really? You want to say it's a coincidence? After 15 years dealing with somebody with an AKA Frank, why would you name your child Frank? I'm just saying, put in the comments. You think that's respectful? Do you think that she named her child after Diddy finally and probably told Diddy like, yo, I named him after you just to remember you forever? I mean, I'm just thinking about it because I just can't understand. That's like me being with my wife for 11, 15 years, and then we break up and I get with another woman and I named my daughter after my wife. Come on now. It don't make no sense. So, now you got Danity, what was that? What's that? Danity Kane. No, you had Dawn Richard from Making the Band. She testified, right? I don't know what she testifying about, but she testified and she pretty much just said that, one day she was in the house, Diddy's very abusive. She was in the house and she saw Diddy beat Cassie up because he came downstairs and he was upset that nobody made breakfast for him. He's screaming, where's his eggs? And then he looked at Cassie, he slapped Cassie to the floor, and then he took the frying pan and he tried to hit her, and she balled up in a fetal position, and then she ran up the stairs. And I was saying to myself, like, you watching all this, what the hell did you do? But she said she didn't want to get involved because she never seen him like this. To me, I think she didn't want to get involved because she felt she was in a real perfect position now, that she was in a group, she was down with Bad Boy, she was with Puffy, she was about to get rich. She was like, listen, it ain't my problem, that's your man, you deal with that. But now you up there testifying because I'm assuming you're Making the Band didn't go nowhere. So now you got a lot of hot stuff to say, which, like I said, she didn't really say nothing. She just witnessed some domestic violence. She witnessed Puffy put hands on Cassie. But Puffy's not being locked up for that. This is a real interesting case because, Monica, she still loved Diddy. She still loved. Because if you listen to my show from yesterday and today, you would notice that Cassie contradicts herself so much and she keep painting a picture of a love and hate relationship. She's not putting no picture together where she's being sex trafficked. She's talking about a whole goddamn relationship. What I'm talking about today. You hear me talk about any sex trafficking? No, you heard me talk about what? A toxic relationship. And this is what the prosecution team was showing with all the texts from 2012 all the way to 2020. She's married already, but still dealing with Puffy. She's married already, but still texting Puffy. Numbers ain't blocked, nothing. Still dealing with him on the low. Well, I'm pretty sure now that's a wrap. He ain't want nothing to do with her. He ain't want nothing to do with her now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure, to me though, I feel that once this case is over, he gonna still contact her because he love her. He'll still contact her. And I heard somebody say this. Maybe this is the reason why they didn't want him to get bail. Think about that. Because when I heard it, I was like, Because through what I said from yesterday and today, you could see she has a weak moment when it comes to Puffy. She left her fiance and flew to a memorial to go see him. And then left because she heard him call somebody else that's dead a soulmate. That's love. So they knew, listen, we can't let him go because if we let him go, he's going to contact her. He's going to boo-hoo her. He's going to smash it, have a freak off, give her a little couple of dollars, give her a jury, whatever, and she gonna go her way, he gonna go his way, and then the case gonna fall apart. You ain't gonna have no case. So it's best to keep him in there and monitor his phone calls where he doesn't have no communication with her. Because why he can't get out? As he put up 50, 60 million dollars, who does that? And you try to say, well, he's a threat, he's blowing up cars. You're not even charging him for blowing up cars. What are you talking about? What kind of threat he's in? Oh, he has a passport. He could flee the country. Flee what country? He told you I'm going to give up the passport. He's like, I ain't got nowhere to go. You know why? Because he know what he did. That's why. He know what he did. So he know they ain't had nothing on him. And even if throughout the weeks we hear, oh, Diddy's with me, because I haven't heard no bisexual stories yet. Okay, I heard the female from what is it? What is it? Danity 6? What? Oh, hold up. What's the name of that group? With the white female, she's gonna take the stand. Oh man, I think it's Danity Kane. Danity Kane, right? And her name is O'Hardry or something like that. Caucasian female. She's set to take the stand to testify against Diddy. I know she's gonna have a lot to say because she was all over TMZ and all these other Caucasian outlets, and she was defecating on Diddy bad. You know what I mean? That's not as shocking to me. You know, Cat Williams said it the best. He said, "Yo, I don't mess with no white girls. I'm afraid of them." This is not being racist, but every time a black man gets with a white woman in this entertainment world and something happened, he gets the short end of the stick. Look at the brother that got beat up by a white girl. He was running from her. This was on camera. And she was beating him all up in the head. And they put him on probation. They locked him up. You see what I'm saying? Stay away from these white. Look at Shannon Sharp. That white girl taped him. She knew what she was doing. If not, she wouldn't. If she wasn't acting, she would have never recorded him. She knew she was underage. She knew what she was doing was wrong, just like Shannon knew what he was doing was wrong. But she did it anyway. But guess who's at fault? Guess who everybody pointed the finger to? Shannon Sharp. Because everybody feel that he should know better because he's 56 years old. I was 15 years old selling crack, shooting guns, and hunting people. I knew exactly what I was doing at 15 years old. So you can't tell me at 19 she don't know what she was doing. At 15, I was paying crackheads to have sex and they was adults. I was a little horny young kid. I mean, come on now. You know what I'm saying? The crackhead was different. We was having sex with fiends who wanted to come and who ain't had enough money. What's up? Give me some, oral sex. And these was grown women. So who's wrong? Me or them? Or both? You see what I'm saying? So, Puff, man, gotta leave them white girls alone, man. The white girls is dangerous, man. You know what I think is gonna come to a point too? A lot of male in the entertainment world, they're gonna start trying to find a way how to adopt kids. They're gonna find a way how not to have any children with any women in the industry or just as a connection. Like they will pull a Madonna. They will go to a whole other country and go get a child. Because it's not safe being a celebrity. Because as soon as you become successful and you get this money and you all of a sudden find this little light-skinned, high yellow woman, because that's who also come, unless you're in the NFL or NBA, and you get these white women that always come up on the brothers. And then you get married, and then next 6 months to a year, you're in divorce court, and she's getting paid $30,000 a month in alimony, or $60,000 a month in child support. What kind of baby that's 3 years old gonna live on $60,000 a month? What kind of baby you got? This make brothers don't want to get married. So I heard one of them say that, and they said, they're like, "Nah, I ain't never getting married. Nah, that ain't happening. I don't want no kids. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. That's it." Because everybody's paying child support. Dr. Dre, Diddy, shoot, they almost got Jay-Z. They always got Jay. They try to get Kobe. Remember what Kobe did? Kobe went and bought the biggest rock and said, "Baby, I'm sorry," because she could have cleaned them out. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan wife, she took like 200-something million. Jordan, that was the biggest. Oh, that was the biggest ever at that time. You know what Jordan said? Jordan said, I ain't worried about it. I'll get it back. I said, he bugging. The next thing you know, he came up with the new joints in the briefcase. He got his money back. And he's getting it back every year. That's why you got so many different joints now. He know what to do. He know how to play the game. You ain't gonna break me. And what happened? He got his new wife now. I bet you she signed a whole bunch of prenups. Bet you that much. And you ain't getting no baby. He got enough kids already. He don't want none. That's it. You're gonna have me on child support. You think you're slick. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all got anything to say? Y'all got anything to say about this case, man? Been talking for a minute about this case. This is a weird case, man. This is like, oh man. Like, yo, Cassie, she did it. She did it. She got 30 million. She's compensated. And she went on the stand and she didn't bury Diddy. So let's be honest, she could have buried him. She could have lied. She could have said, no, he put a gun to my head and told me if I won't give so-and-so over sex, he'll blow my brains out. And what did you do? I did it. From that point on, case over. You're done. But she didn't do that. She said, I want to do the freak offs. Let's go. No, Puffy, what you talking about you don't want to do no more? I'm doing it. And then in a few other texts, she said, yo, let's do the freak offs. And she said, all right, you find a room. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get the candles and the wax and all that. And it was like, what do you need candles and wax? She was like, for body wax. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was down with it. It's just so fact she was just hurt because we've been in this toxic relationship and all of a sudden you keep choosing all these other people over me. And you giving them babies, but you're not giving me none. I did everything you want. I even drunk piss for you. And you're not going to give me a baby? And he probably thinking, hell no, I'm not giving you no goddamn baby. You know what I mean? I let all these rappers smash too. You forgot? I ain't going to be laughing at me. I'm not saying that rappers did, but this is what I'm assuming. Because even Young Miami called her a certified freak in a text that they was both arguing. Because Miami took her slot. So they both argued. She said, you're a certified freak. And she put it in caps, certified freak. That means you're yelling. Why you call her certified? Why you just say a freak? She said certified freak. After what I heard, yeah, she's certified, all right. She had 2 urines in her mouth. 2 different types of urine in her mouth at the same time. She had Diddy and a male escort. Peeing in her mouth. Damn. This may be probably why she had sores and all of that because, urine is toxic. That's waste is coming out your body. So she doing all of that, probably not brushing her. Okay. So she said, I'm still using, the medication because I'm still, I still have that feeling for the opioids because she was a drug addict. They want to make it seem like Puff got her on the drugs. Nah, man. Puff ain't get on the drugs. You mean to tell me Puff put her on ecstasy, Molly, GHB, mushroom, all of that out at the same time? Nah, you had to work into that. You decided to take that. And then when you wanted to get some more drugs and you needed the connection, Puff said, I got you. You know what he was doing. I'm not saying Puff is innocent in the whole thing because he took advantage too, because here it is. She's 20, she's 21, when he met her. The first kiss he gave her was at her 21st birthday party, and she was with Ryan Leslie. So she was cheating on Ryan. And she saw a bigger bag. And he knew that. You know what I'm saying? She played on his lust, and he played on her greed. She knew, yeah, he want my little young thing. I'm looking good. And he like, yeah, come to the diddler. You know what I'm saying? Because she's young, he can mold her. He can control her because she's going to be looking up to him because she grew up listening to Bad Boy. So she like, finally, I'm with Puff Daddy? What? He can have anybody. Why he went little on me? Because she understands saying she's insecure about herself. She thought that Puffy wanted her friend. That's what she said. She said, I didn't even know he was even thinking about me. Like, I ain't nobody, I ain't nothing. So she knew that he wanted her. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I got to do to keep her. She going to listen to me. I'm going to mold that and shape that. So he played on her ignorance. And she played on his lust. And she played on he played on her greed as well. Because he knows she wanted that bad. So he started taking her different places and showing her a different life. And she swallowed that. She was like, nah, I'm staying. And forget Ryan. He's struggling hard because everybody remember Ryan had like one song. He was struggling. She was like, hell no, I'm going over here. And dumped him. Then started cheating on Puff. Then started cheating on her fiance with Puff. Like she's just a serial cheater. You know what I'm saying? But yo, let me get out of here, man. I done had y'all hostage for so long. I'm sorry. I got had, man. I enjoy your night. May God bless you, bless your family, and make sure, you say your prayers up to God before you go to sleep. And hopefully I get to see you the next time. With that being said, y'all have a good night. Later.